Yes. Okay. So I see Masha is just joining us at the moment. Hey, Masha. Ciao.
Um,
Uh, Others, everybody else just gave me permission to start recording. Are you okay with that?
sure.
Cool. Cool.
Yes,
Great.
yes.
So we are starting. Ante and Christos should join us, but we will then introduce them later. I will first introduce Gabriel, and then I will ask you to introduce yourselves also to Gabriel, and then we can start with conversation. So Gabriel is our current resident in Ulysses Shelter Residency, which is now located in Babino Polje, the biggest village of the island. And Gabriel is a Maltese journalist and writer. He came through the exchange with Inisiamed organization from Malta, who joined the project 3 years ago. Gabriel is author of 3 books. His most recent book came out last year, and he is on Mljet to write prose. So we can ask him how is that going in next 40 minutes. So let's hear. Tell us a little bit about yourselves, everyone. So then we can continue our conversation. Maybe Jelena, would you go first?
Okay. Hi, I'm Jelena. I'm from Belgrade, where I'm talking to you now. I mostly love to sing. I love music, as maybe you can see behind me. And for me, writing is one of the probably forms of singing, or one of the most forceful forms of singing. So, and apart from that, I translate Portuguese, mainly Portuguese and sometimes Spanish literature. And yeah, for me, Mljet has really been powerful and has sort of changed everything, because you just feel the unison of everything singing with you and sort of running with you. You stop feeling separated, and it just creates an organic web of everything moving and writing and singing with you. So, and the place has been amazing for me because of that, both in connection to nature and in connection to people. So yeah, I'm wishing the same to you and looking forward to the conversation, Gabriel.
Great. Laura?
Hi, my name is Laura. I am from Mallorca, but I am actually living in Barcelona. And well, I define myself as a visual artist because I studied fine arts, but writing is a very important part of my practice. I published 2 poetry books. I am working in my 3rd one. And well, I finished my PhD because it's something that we were talking about, Ivan, my last days. I am waiting for the defense.
Great, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Laura.
Thank you.
Well done.
And well, I really enjoyed my time in Mljet. I spent a lot walking around. I can then recommend some places to go if you want. And yeah, I think I had a lot of time to think about what I wanted to do next. And yeah, I really hope it would be amazing for you as well.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Laura. Let's just contextualize the time when each of you spent at Mljet. So Jelena and Laura were at Mljet last year, last winter, spring, about this period of year, a little bit later. Was it February, March? Was it?
January, February.
January, February. Okay, yeah, then it's the same time.
Yeah.
Great. Aljaž, how are you? Tell us a little bit about yourself and your work.
Hi, so I'm Aljaž. I was in Mljet basically as a first resident in the first year of Ulysses Shelter. So it was a bit different, as Ivan already told. We were really on a secluded part of the island, which was marvelous because like basically the first traces of civilization were around 25 minutes by foot away. So we were completely alone. And it was one of the most amazing times in my life, really, to be completely without the contact of people if I didn't want it. And of course, I could, of course, have the contact if I wished so. But other than that, I finished my first poetry collection on Mljet. After it, basically nowadays I work between the festival organization. I'm the head coordinator for Versopolis platform. I'm employed by Beletrina Publishing Press in Slovenia, but mostly I work between different European countries, especially Czech Republic and Germany, besides Slovenia. And I'm currently, with a lot of struggles, finishing my second collection. Hopefully it will be, well, it has to be published this year, otherwise my Slovene publisher will kill me. This is in short.
Okay, we hope that this won't be your last footage ever.
I hope so as well.
Maša, a long time no see.
Hi. Yes, well, hi everyone. I'm also in Belgrade, is the same as Jelena. And also to begin from the context, as Ivan said, so I was on Mljet in 2001, if I'm correct.
21, yeah.
21, yeah. 21, sorry, yeah. And then, yeah, it was this, I guess, first period when we started thinking that COVID wouldn't last forever. So I remember coming to the island, pretty much it was in March. So when I was leaving, it was the beginning of, it was the opening day actually of the national park. So it was like the beginning of spring, so to say, yeah. So that's what I remember. I'll come back to that. Like what I'm doing now is also finishing my PhD thesis. So Laura, huge congratulations from a person who is doing that at the moment. I really appreciate that you managed to finish because I'm now, in between, like, well, not getting killed like Aljaž by the publisher, but killing myself. Or finishing the thesis. So yeah, I'm doing that, and also I work in film mainly. Other than writing, I work as a co-programmer. I've been working for 10 years at this festival, which is one of the biggest in Serbia for author cinema. It's called Belgrade Author Film Festival, and I run this selection called Brave Balkans. Which is quite eclectic and very interesting. And I also do a lot of workshops, which are educational workshops, well, now mostly for high school students, and also really eager to make like regional collaboration actually on like a toolkit, which would be useful for high school professors, mainly in terms of film literacy. So this is like the new project that we've been working on. And apart from that, yeah, I told Ivan in an email I wrote, I'm finishing my third book. This is also a collection of poetry, but I work really like interdisciplinary. So it's going to be a few essays as well, and also like architectural texts, which are not mine, but which are taken from the 60s, and it tackles like a bit like this urban development of Belgrade, and connected to like the idea of an apartment as this ultimate, middle class thing to have, or at least it was. So that's mainly it. And when I was in Mljet, to come back to that, I actually started working on this manuscript that I'm finishing now. So it was 4 years ago, but I had something completely different in mind. It was conceived as a dialogue instead of what it is now. And I remember working on it on the island. And honestly, I felt like everything was taking my attention, other than working on the text. And I think at this moment, I think it's a good thing because I walked so much. I remember one day I walked 27 kilometers around the national park, especially around the lake. And it was really, the weather really, really was beautiful when I was there. I was really lucky. And I think that this like pause I had essentially was also very productive, even though it didn't seem like it was at the moment. But like Aljaž said, I also felt like I didn't have to talk to anyone if I didn't want to, because I was also on the secluded part of the island. And I know, Gabriel, you're now in the village, and it's absolutely, I guess, different. But the idea that I couldn't come back. I mean, I suppose it's absolutely devoid of people and any kind of events, for sure. But this being like on the edge of the island really for me meant like I have to come back before the wild boars get out of the woods, because someone told me that there's quite a lot of them. So yeah, I think Mljet is really a great place to go to a residency because of the nature. And I really like when I had that almost 30-kilometer walk. I remember this day really well because I felt like I was like on another planet, really, or like the world ended and I ended up I ended up on Mljet, and I was lucky. Yeah.
Yeah, I also felt that from the moment that the journey to Mljet started, even before I got there. It's just immediately there's a switch or another planet, that's it.
Yeah. So, Gabriel, can you tell us how is on that other planet now? What are your impressions from the ground?
I feel it's almost ironic because Croatia and Malta are pretty close, I guess. We are less than 2 hours away by flight. But at the same time, I feel completely isolated. And as Jelena just said, even the process of getting to Mljet is heavy. The travel is long. It makes you feel disconnected immediately. No, I feel like this is exactly what I expected in a way. I mean, Babino is still very much unpopulated. Practically everyone knows that I am here, and I feel that I have said hello, good morning, or good evening at one point to every populace in this village. Everyone knows exactly where I am, where my bicycle is, where I'm going at night, what time I go to sleep, which is very similar to what I live in my village in Malta. But it was quite shocking. I was lucky enough to live in the Amazon, for example, in Peru, and still somehow I felt more connected to the people and there would be something going on at night. Someone would be opening a beer or sharing some wine. Here I have to head back to my little flatlet and cook and have my own wine, which is completely fine. But
Cheers.
It helped me first of all. Yeah, cheers, Jelena. It helped me first of all to calm down. I am a very social being, and I love being with people. So in fact, none of my friends or my family can believe that I am 3 weeks completely on my own. Everyone is thinking that I am probably talking to olive trees and sculpting human beings out of carob trees and making them talk to me, which is close enough. But I am taking very, very, very long walks, as you said. I am so far today, it happens to be another beautiful sunny day. So far, I think I've had no more than 3 days of rain in almost 2 weeks. So I'm lucky. I am cycling a lot, walking a lot. I am reading a lot, which is a rarity because sometimes I don't get to read that much. And mentally, I had to slow down. I work as a freelancer, mostly with a refugee NGO. I'm still a bit involved in journalism. So my mind is very active. Here I had to learn to shut down and calm down. even remember how to breathe and just be present with what I have here around me. I decided to take the first week as a complete sponge to take in what Mljet has to offer, as in when it comes to the senses and the environment around me, and it helped me. And I started writing a short story, in fact, 2 nights ago. And I like where it's going. I know exactly where it's going, which is normal in my process. But other than that, there was a point when I was questioning the timing of when I am doing this, because I just published in mid-October, I just published my last book, which is a collection of short stories, and it took me a lot of energy to complete. And probably you have experienced, all of you have published, that once you finish a publication, then you are in your free zone, in your liberty zone, that you don't have this obligation to write. So now that only January came and I'm suddenly sitting down and writing, it felt a bit strange, I have to admit. But I think the advantage is that I have the momentum with me. So at least I'm going to take on that momentum and keep writing, essentially. But so far so good. I only have practically 1 week left, more or less. Time has passed really quickly. At first, I was a bit worried that 3 weeks are a bit too much, but it's absolutely not the case. Yeah, I think it's funny. I told Ivan when we were in the car, I told them, everyone, when I told my friends that I'm going on a 3-week shelter on my own among the trees, everyone told me, and in brackets, most were married people. They told me, "Oh man, can I come with you? Oh man, can I join you in 3 weeks without meeting people?" So I am trying to remember that many people desire to be 3 weeks on their own, and I am doing that very, very joyfully as possible.
Tell us about your discoveries in Babino Polje.
My discoveries.
Like, for example, the shady bar.
Yeah. So maybe it's not. I mean, I wouldn't call it shady because everyone knows about it. So I was lucky to be introduced to it by coincidence. So one exercise that I do every day is that I make sure that I leave the apartment for a long walk every day. Because first of all, I like to run normally when I'm back home. I like to run 5K every couple of days. So I say, okay, I need to, work my ass. Otherwise, I will get buried in my own. And only, I think, every time I left the apartment, I always either met someone who invited me in, and in fact, that's how I got introduced to the bar, because I was walking and someone picked me up to go for a glass of wine with them at home. I went with them at home, and they told me there's a bar. I told them, yes, I heard, and I want to see it. So then we went.
So just to tell the others, it's a place in Babino Polje. Maybe Laura and Jelena, maybe you were there, but I don't know if it was open last year when you were there. So it's a building where the owner of the building opened the bar, but not legally. So it's a bar, but it's not registered. So it's something that only villagers know, and they go there basically every day.
Yes. And
because the other bar, Komarac, which Jelena and Laura is now closed because the owners are on vacation.
This is the pizzeria.
Yes.
Yeah, it was closed also when I was there for renovation.
Oh my God! But I
remember.
No shame. I have it marked on my calendar. That's on the 19th of January. It's going to open, and I don't think I'm going to cook dinner anymore because there's a pizzeria here.
And to me, it opened the last day where I was leaving. I saw it open just before I left. Yeah, but it was nice. You could sit alone. Then the chairs were all outside, so you could sit alone on those chairs and write if you wanted. That was good. Yeah. And then somebody might join you and talk to you. People
For,
can.
no, for sure. I made a note on my calendar because I intend to consume whatever I'm eating inside now, because then I'm going to eat pizza practically for the last 5 nights.
Yeah.
Yeah,
with
sure.
no
Nutritional
shame
food these
whatsoever.
last 2 days, yeah.
Yeah.
Aljaž, I'm sorry, Gabriel. I would just like to draw a comparison how it looked like before COVID on at the residency location on Collier. Then we had at that first year we had a program that 2 residents were at the location at the same time. So you were sharing residency with Ante Jelenić, who didn't respond me to my message. So I don't know where he is, but he is very unpredictable anyway. So how it was for you then. Share for Gabriel, Jelena, and Laura, who were in the apartment in Babino Polje. Share for us those memories, how it was there.
Well, actually, while I was listening to you, memories came back basically. I forgot quite some things already. It's like 6 years ago. It's like
Wow.
quite a time ago.
Yes.
But as I said, it was marvelous. Like basically, it is exactly what I needed at that time, to be a bit secluded, that I could actually focus on my poetry, to finish the poetry collection. And like I have wonderful memories from it. Like basically, because of like ecological catastrophe that we are experiencing, it was one of the times after a long time that I actually saw plankton again, and it was the most magical moment during nights when I went for a swim, that I did not see where the sky is the limit and where the water is the limit, because the plankton was like basically lighting up together with stars, and it was the most magical feeling, just swimming during the night. Then of course there were some funny stories as well. Well, while I was out of the house, the mouse came into the house, and then I was panicking, and I was like, should I stay in the house? Should I like? And then I went out, and then of course the wild pigs that Masha was mentioning were also like constantly a bit of the threat, because I'm a bit more of a city boy, honestly. So it was really, really fun in some cases. And also just the everyday walks that I was like basically going to the first village. It took me around 20 minutes by foot, as I said.
Yeah.
It was lovely. It was fantastic to be alone and to actually that I could just basically decide on my own when I want to see people. And I went to this little store, always buying the same bread and the same wine, which I still drink to this day. Amazing
Wow.
wine, honestly. I
Give
can
us a
find it.
recommendation.
Yeah,
us a
this is
tip.
the recommendation. I forgot the name. It's like the blue etiquette with the donkey on it. I think
Plavac. Yeah, I know. It's
Plavac.
Plavac.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
Plavac.
I think it's this
found
one.
Yes,
Donkey.
exactly. This is the one. This is
Yeah.
the one.
This is my fourth or fifth in the list. It's empty.
I drank it a lot as well.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It's
really
beautiful. I found it recently in Slovenia as well, so I'm drinking it till this day, as I said.
Wow.
But
No, I'm happy.
other than that, like it was also amazing to share the house with Ante, like to basically be part of this poetry exchange. I learned a lot from him. And he was a great flatmate in a way. He brought with himself the guitar, so he was playing with different instruments. We got drunk a lot. We were discussing about poetry a lot. And then we had like one of the best parties. I still remember the last day of our residency, even arranged that we had the reading in Dubrovnik. So when we actually left the residency, we went to Dubrovnik. We had the really lovely reading with some other poets. And then we went wild in the night, and we put like mask on, and we went to some clubs, and we were partying till morning. And
I never heard about this part.
Yeah.
That's great.
And I was so hungover returning back. At that time, I was living in Portugal. I
Oh,
was,
nice.
yeah, and I was like so hungover when I came back to Lisbon. After we
You
were
also lived in Lisbon. We should talk about Lisbon separately afterwards, okay?
um, and at that time we had a bit longer residency, even, right? We were for 3 weeks on each residency.
Yeah, it
If
was
I'm
three. It's also 3 weeks now.
it's
3
also
weeks, yeah.
okay.
But some residents can choose 2 weeks if they don't want to
If they
take
want.
3 weeks. But it's between 2 and 3 weeks.
But yeah, just to conclude that also others will be able to share their experiences. I would recommend that you go to that house on that is a really, really secluded part of the island because you have a real shelter there, a bomb shelter hidden
Okay.
in the forest in a way. And if you continue to the end of basically the edge of the island, you have a really nice beach there. I was constantly swimming every day there. And I really recommend it because you can be completely alone with your thoughts and with your poetry and then get, of course, back to the village, take a bottle of wine again, and get drunk with the locals. Best possible exchange. So yeah, this
I'll
is
work
short.
on it. I'll work on it.
I see Christos Gezos joined us. Christos, can you hear us? Okay. It's like Christos is with us in spirit. But I guess he will turn on his camera and mic eventually. Okay. And I will mention. Yes, Masha.
Yeah, I wanted to tell you, Gabriel, if you have a proper shoes and jacket or whatever you need, maybe you can climb up because above Babino is the highest peak of Mljet. I mean, you can ask the locals because you have to go behind like a building. There are like stairs, but you have to go behind. You wouldn't find it on your own, and then it's pretty rough. I mean, there's rocks, so you have to go. But it's beautiful view. I don't know if you went.
I think I suspect I went yesterday because
you would know.
because it was so it wasn't the highest peak. We were next to it.
Okay.
Because there's a cave formation.
You went to the cave. Yeah.
Cave, yeah.
But not the Odysseus cave. This was it's like a big it's like a concert hall, this cave. It was beautiful.
Yeah, but that's next to the peak. So
yes, exactly. It's next to the peak. So
yeah.
it's like I think it's like 85 meters less than the peak. But yes, the view is beautiful. And when the sun is out here, I mean, I have good running shoes, which means that every time I hit a rock, I almost cried, because my toes would be up. But other than that, yes, I'm walking a lot. It's beautiful. I am also tempted to go to swim. Like if I go to the cave, to the Odysseus cave, it would be beautiful to swim. I mean, if the sea is not rough, but I also don't want to. I mean, it would be very artistic and beautiful to die during a literary shelter, but I also want to live to tell the tale.
No, there's no need to die.
There's no need there. Yes, we can shift that when I'm 80. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I wanted to ask Laura and Jelena to tell us about their encounters, but mostly encounter with the good spirit of the Babino Polje Amlica. So I'm not sure, Masha, if you have met Amlica when you were in Kulier. So Amlica runs the local provisional library called the Little Island Library, where we also have our collection of the International Library of Poetry in her library. So tell us how did you experience hanging out with Amlica and the library and the people you met through Amlica?
Lovely. Who wants? Do you want to speak first, or?
Well, yeah, or you
That's
are.
amazing. Yeah. Maybe you can go first. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think I didn't feel that lonely because of her. We were together almost all the time, and I met some people because of her. In fact, Masha, I am with you with this pig behind the apartment, and it was Amlichka who brought me there.
Yeah.
And also, as a very good experience in my case, I have a really good memory talking with Ivan Bamba, who knows everything about Mljet. But the thing is, he doesn't speak English, so Gabriel, if you want to meet him, you will need someone to translate. And in my case, it was Amlichka helping with that.
Okay.
So yeah, I am super grateful with her.
So as you all know, I have roots from island Mljet, and apparently Bamba, the old storyteller from the island, who was a local. I can't remember the name in English. The word in English, matichar, the one who weds
I remember
people.
you told me.
So
Well,
that
everybody
was,
married.
see, that was his function. He was marrying people. When somebody would marry on the island, he was the one who was doing it for the local district, like registering them at the court that they are married. So he knows everything about everyone on the island, and he's also my cousin, because his grandmother was a sister of my grandfather. So just a little bit about how small that island is.
Yeah. Wow.
So you can ask Amlica if you want to talk to Bamba about the history of the island, about people and the local customs. And
Nice.
Bamba was also the last owner of a donkey on the island.
Yeah, I remember you told me that he got everybody married. He wrote poetry, and he was the owner of the last donkey.
Wow,
Yes.
that's really interesting. That's really interesting. Amrita is being very, very helpful. Yesterday I went to see her yesterday, and because on Saturday she has a club, and they invited me as a guest, and we're organizing some food and some.
Yeah, I love the book club. I loved her, and I love the book club. And actually, I loved in my first encounter. First of all, I love that library because it's such an unconventional library. So don't feel at all like you're at a place that libraries are used to be, because we're used to them being a bit boring places. But then you feel like you're in a magical caravan that just landed somewhere in some unknown planet as soon as you enter. So it's already magical. And then also, I loved my first conversation with her. Well, after we met and even introduced us when we first met on our own, we just naturally started saying to each other some things that you just wouldn't say to someone you meet first, but we could all immediately share, for example, what made us feel uncomfortable that day and why. And I don't know. And she shared with me some difficult emotions right from the moment when I met her. And then when we went through that, it was just, just everything started flowing. And like Laura said, it's just really, you feel she's your good spirit and you're never alone. And you meet interesting people through interesting places. But the best things are the conversations with her themselves. Yeah. Great. You feel like you already have a great friend. I really loved spending time with her. And I love the book club. I love this incredible, like, ancient unity that seems to be established at those book clubs. It's amazing. I love meeting people who come there. And it's completely different to kind of a book club that you would have here, like in big cities, where you feel like it's some kind of, salon-like events that are institutionalized, and that you just kind of analyze things and then you pick up and go, and that's it. But there, it's like a book. Any book that we're talking about is just a trigger for all these sorts of, ancient, intimate layers to open up in between the people, which are of all sorts. They speak of the horrors of their lives, of the intimacy of their lives. They laugh like crazy. It's just like everything. It's like going to a disco, but in a deeper way, like a disco with an underlying deep ritual that also allows you to talk and connect. It's like, that's their place. Libraries, we're used to them being like kind of some kind of a, conventional and a bit boring place, but there it's like a place of, playful ritual where people just naturally open up, and the book is just a trigger for that. So I really love that. I just came to talk to those people, and there we are. And these women come sometimes from different villages to be there, and I just leave the husband and kids to sleep, and they come there, and it's like a secret, ritual for them. And they was telling me, oh, and last time, afterwards we drank gin and stayed until 3 a.m. So it's like some kind of, ancient and modern at the same time ritual party where you reconnect. So I love that. I love being a part of the book club, and then both these people, whoever would come that day, and Amlica would feel as friends. And then also we would meet other people along the way. Then these people would take us to these interesting places that you and Maša mentioned, and Laura, and some amazing places I wouldn't have maybe discovered if it wasn't for her. So I loved spending my time with her. And about other encounters, it's just like you said, I love both these chance encounters, like you just walk, and I don't know, you observe some poetry written by hand on a log, and you just look at that and you take photos of it. And then comes like this old man who asks you, oh, what are you taking photo of? What is the kind of frame that you liked? And I said this, and they said, oh, I wrote that poetry. And then you start talking to him on the road, and there comes a firefighter, and he introduces you to a firefighter. And there comes a firefighter, a poet, a librarian, that just all naturally meet, like you said, just like it happens to you. You just walk and somebody invited you to a secret bar. And to me, I love those kind of encounters the most. Like Amljet says, like the big supporting tree of everything and of all friendships. And then there's this kind of secretive, interesting chance encounters where you connect by surprise because you can. Because there's not this, overwhelming multiplicity of everything. You come across each other on the road, and there you are, and you can just go anywhere and surprise yourselves because there's nobody else and nothing else to distract you. So I love that about her and the encounters.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, there are two different dimensions of the two locations where the residency was taking place so far. So the Kulier, the place where this building was in the middle of the forest, was really introspective residency. And unless you decided to go to the first nearby village, you were really all day alone and absolutely alone. And in Babino Polje, even though there is currently, I think, like 100 or 150 people in the entire village, and you don't see a lot of people on the streets or on the street, because there's only one street actually in Babino Polje. Still, there is this social life which you can discover. And for example, the community in Babino Polje, you can really see the essence of the community there. You feel like you are part. You immediately feel like you are part of the community, and that's actually what community means, that you feel part of it. Otherwise, it's not a community. For example, what Amljet is doing, and it's really a remarkable thing, and I imagine how it would be if I grew up somewhere. I grew up in Zagreb, in the city, on the streets. But how would it be that if I grew up somewhere like that? For example, Amljet, in her little library, she's holding classes for kids who need help with homework.
Yeah, it's lovely meeting those kids as well. Yeah, you become friends with them too.
So she's not charging for that. She just says like, I'm there, I don't know, on Saturday and I don't know, Thursday and Friday from this and that hour, and then if you need help with homework, come over. And then kids come and she helps them. It's primary school. There's only primary school on Mljet, so it's like a simple math or Croatian language or geography or whatever, and then you have insight into how these things happen. How these things really happen at the spot, which for me in a city, I never witnessed something like that. I've never seen like this immediate reliance on each other, the way that community relies on each other. So for the end of this our little gathering, can you tell or recommend, Gabriel, what do you think he should do or try or think about or observe? Of course, Kulier was on the other part of the island, but maybe there will be a chance for Gabriel to somehow find a way to another part of the island. But in general, what could you tell him as a message from your residence?
Run away response now. Sorry. Get on a boat to Dubrovnik and fuck off.
Jelena.
Well, maybe I can tell you. Yeah, I'll tell you which place is lovely to see, but just like a general thing. Well, but maybe while you're there, you'll feel like everything is possible and like your crazy ideas can come to happen, and start doing those things. I recommend, no matter how crazy they are. Maybe you think, okay, I'm in Mljet, but other people in the outer world that I need to return to, they are not there. So maybe they're not connected to this magic, and maybe I'm crazy for doing, but just whatever crazy idea comes to your mind while you're there, I recommend to start doing it, because you'll be surprised that along the way it might start, coming into form, into fruition. At least it happened to me. Just start casting the magic spells, no matter how crazy it seems. Yeah. And I think it will start building, because the energy is amazing. Start building and coming back. You'll be surprised. Yeah. And about the places, yeah, I think it's very nice to see the beach in Limuni, if you haven't seen that one. It's like
in what?
Limuni, this beach called Limuni.
Yeah, it's the southernest tip of the island.
That's so it would be.
Me and Amlitz and a third friend, we went there. And it's amazing to see. They told me that it started to become, it was secluded, but it started to become sort of famous, and it's no longer secluded. But during the winter, it's amazing because there's nobody, and they don't even clean the beach. So there are all sorts of dirt, but there are all sorts of amazing shells, and the amazing sound of the sea. And it's a bit of a secluded place where they're just around it only several little houses. So you just feel you're just there absorbing. It has this amazing shape, amazing sound of the sea. You can find, big shells just lying there. Nobody picked them, and you can feel magical. And of course to see the post box at the Ulysses cave. I left some poetry and letters there, and I think also they work energetically. If you leave something there, it's gonna come back to you.
Yeah, there is a post box when you will go to Ulysses cave. There is a post box. You can leave something there, or send it to whomever you think you should send something.
Yeah, I sent something, and also left some poems, and I just made a mix, like a gift for the island, and really letters, and people will come.
Nice.
Transport them. It's physically and energetically interesting.
Energetically interesting. That's it.
Yeah.
Cool. Who is next? Laura, do you have any recommendations?
Well, maybe you have been there already, but I recommend you to go to the old cemetery. It's the old one, right, Ivan?
I went.
You went there.
Next
I think
to
it's
the olive path.
In the field?
In the fields.
Below the village?
Yes. It is the olive path.
Yeah, then this one is another one.
It was actually a scary surprise, because I went there at around 4:30, and I realized that the sun is coming down, and suddenly all I see is graves. So I have to admit that going down, it took me like 45 minutes. Going up, it took me less than 6 minutes, because I was really scared shitless. I was like, oh shit, what is this? But yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
And also the olive, the olive path is also very nice to walk, because you are around the sea or the coast, and beautiful. It is also amazing.
It is. I think that's where I go almost every 3 days. I just walk always the same path, and always take a different turn. And next week I will go to the cave, because I haven't seen the Ulysses cave.
And Aljaž, you remember Dora, who was the host in first year? Dora Levacic was intern in Sandorf in 2019, and she volunteered to go to Mljet, and she lived there for about more than 6 months, and she was helping the residents with the different needs. And at the moment when Aljaž was at Mljet, Dora was also there. Dora is now working in a very good bookstore in Zagreb, in the very center of Zagreb. And I remember that year, it's connected with the graveyard. In like the middle of the night, a message is coming to me because I was at the time like her boss, but I mean nothing serious. But I was telling her you have to send this and this, and she was telling me I need this and this for the project. So we were in a kind of business relationship, and in the middle of the night, like 3 in the morning, I receive a message, and I open it and I see a picture of a grave saying Ivan Sršen on the grave, on the tombstone, because a lot of people in Mljet are called Ivan Sršen. And she just sent me a picture of a grave with my name on it. So Mljet can offer many surprises.
Yeah, I'm hoping I don't find it, but thank you.
No, you wouldn't find your name on the grave there.
Yeah, maybe that's good. Maybe an older version of you got buried, and maybe you got born for something more full. Who knows, even?
Probably, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. To run the residency program on the island. Yeah, that's what I came back for.
Now that you mentioned the graveyards, I have to mention the one that we filmed on. I really like that one even more because you can see the seaside. I think the village is called Prožura, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I think I would like to be buried there if there is any chance of doing so. Yeah. It has like a small church.
Yeah,
so you enter the village and it's on the right. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really
okay, I know where it is. Okay, I can see it on the map. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I recommend to see that one as well. Yeah.
Can you recommend anything else besides funerals and tombstones and anything deadly?
Well, I was now thinking, but like we have a bit of different situation because I was on the different part of the island. I was thinking of like I was going through memories, and yeah, the lakes and every mentioned place is great, but like from my point of view, I would just say that take time for yourself and explore whatever you want, either on the island or within yourself, because honestly, in this time and place that we are currently living, you will have really little possibilities as such on the island of Mljet, where you can really take time for yourself. Whenever I remember 2019 and the residency in Mljet, I get so excited because it was one of the rare opportunities that I could actually withdraw myself from this really chaotical world and really take time for myself and my own writing, that I was basically physically disconnected by the world. And this is really a rare situation that we don't allow ourselves that much, even though like as you're from Malta, everyone knows each other on such a small place. In that situation, similar situation, you can talk, you can meet and get to know everyone living in the island, but at the same time, it allows you to be alone a lot. And for poetry, I think like it is really important that you disconnect with the discourse that is out there, that you basically can allow yourself reflection and time for it. And this is for sure what Mljet gives you. So I think take this opportunity because as we know with our workflows, with the capitalism and everything that we are dealing with every day, we have really just a couple of these kind of opportunities to take time for ourselves.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I think this was a wonderful experience and a recount of past residencies for me as well. I hope it was interesting for you too. And I will send one more email with all of our emails. So if you want to stay in contact, we can stay in contact.
Yeah, and Gabriel, if you want to ask us anything else, we're here.
And I want to thank you because it's as I said, it's been an interesting experience so far. Suddenly I feel that I feel like my time has almost expired. Like first I took 1 week to absorb everything and just read and walk and take as much sun as possible and run and meet people. Then the second week I said, okay, then I will start writing and blah blah blah. And I'm also drawing a bit, because I like to paint and draw. Now suddenly the third week it's like the execution week. I feel like I have to finish my story. I mean, I'm not obliged to, but I want to finish it while I'm here. And suddenly it feels like, wow, it's 3 weeks really fly by really fast. And as I said, it's a privilege to stay put for 3 weeks, doing absolutely nothing that is normally expected of you, which is going to work and meet people socially. And it is something that, at least in my life, and as from what I hear in many of our generation's life, we don't have the luxury of sitting alone and the luxury of not being too distracted.
Yeah, and I would also like to thank you, Ivan, for organizing this, that I also meet some of like other experience and listen to what you have experienced on Mljet. It was really lovely, and let's please stay in contact. You have my email
Thank
under
you.
the emails. Gabriel, write if you would need anything regarding on Mljet, and to all the others also write me about your projects and everything else. I would love to learn more about your works as well. By the way, are you maybe connected with Matthew?
This is the question I got like 700 times. Malta is a very small island. We have maybe, I don't know, 40 or 50 surnames. Me and Matthew, we are not related. We know each other through publications. He just came to my book launch in October, and I met him there. But no, I am not actually related. It's a pure coincidence that we share the same surname.
Okay, I needed to ask because
Yeah. Please go ahead.
collaborated in the past with him.
Go ahead.
Matthew supposed also to be on our conversation today, but I guess he couldn't make it. Yeah, and he was in Babino Polje 2 years ago. Yeah. Great, everyone. We will definitely stay in touch. I will keep you posted about new things about the residency. We are expecting the 4th cycle to start at the beginning of next year. We still have one resident, Danai Sozu, Greek poet, who will come ending of February and stay in March. And then we are closing the last 3 years of the project, and then hopefully continuing beginning of 2026. And one day, I promise, we'll make a reunion of all the residents, and that will be when we will officially open the International Library of Poetry in the village of Blato. I'm sure Aljaž will be interested in this. I will send you more details about this plan. It's now in the first phase, but we will come to that. So I will keep you informed about the project developments. Thank you very much, everyone. Gabriel, send us some photos.
Sure.
Yeah,
Shall I send here on the chat?
Send us on the email. I will send everyone.
Okay. I will. Today I will sit down and do that.
Great.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Really.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Nice
and Gabriel, enjoy, and everybody take care, and we'll be in touch.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Ciao.
Bye.